Crazy thing is black. You got some black folk that will think this is okay. You have black folk that will think this is okay. R.Kelly lawyer compares him to Martin Luther King. God, this is embarrassing. R.Kelly's lawyer compared him to civil rights leader Martin Luther King Jr. in the closing argument of the singer's sex trafficking trial. Devereux Kanik said both men held the government to account, and he urged jurors to be courageous. Wow. The singer, 54, denies all charges against him in the federal case. The prosecution ended its argument with a simple message: convict him, after saying he should pay for the pain he inflicted on each of his victims. R. Kelly, whose full name is Robert Sylvester Kelly, is accused of grooming and sexually abusing women and underage girls. The charges include 1 count of racketeering and 8 counts of illegally transporting people across state lines for the purpose of sex. Over the past 5 weeks, the jury in Brooklyn, New York, has heard from a number of men and women who said the star stripped them of control, enforcing draconian rules over when they could eat, sleep, and go to the bathroom, and pressured them into sexual acts, which he would often videotape. Prosecutors have portrayed him as a predator who exploited his fame to attract fans to his circle, where he would demand strict obedience or else punish them. For decades, the defendant recruited and groomed women, girls, and boys for his own sexual gratification. Elizabeth Geddes, a lawyer for the prosecution, told the jury, with the help of his inner circle, he slowly isolated his victims, set rules, and exacted punishment. She continued, "It's time to hold the defendant responsible for the pain he inflicted on each of his victims. It is now time for the defendant to pay for his crimes. Convict him." 9 women and 2 men appeared in court saying R. Kelly sexually abused them. The defense lawyers said R. Kelly was living a playboy life because his record label painted him as a sex symbol. "Where's the crime in that?" said Mr. Kanik, dismissing alleged victims as groupies. "You heard about a man who treated these women like gold," Mr. Kanik added. "He bought them bags more expensive than cars. He invoked King's 'I've been to the mountaintop' speech. Somewhere I read of the freedom of assembly. Somewhere I read of the freedom of speech. Somewhere I read of the freedom of press. King upheld the Constitution to try to make the government be true to what's on paper," he said, adding, "That's all Robert is trying to do." On Wednesday, R. Kelly declined to testify in his own defense. Court reporters said he was shaking his head during the prosecution's final arguments. The jury is expected to retire to consider its verdict later on Thursday. If convicted, R. Kelly faces up to 15 years in prison. Lock this man up and lock up his defense lawyer. I'm seriously comparing him to Martin Luther King Jr. This is how far things have gone, man. This is how far people have sunk to try to glorify this man. Try to romanticize this man as he's not Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King could read. Okay? And yeah, he cheated on his wife. I mean, the man could read. Comparing him to Martin Luther King is it's a joke. He must have been really broke because he couldn't afford a better defense attorney. Okay? He couldn't afford a better defense attorney to come up with this nonsense. Comparing Martin Luther King Jr. This is a joke. This is really a joke. But I hope they throw the book at him. Okay? And it's sad that you will have blacks that will still defend R. Kelly. R. Kelly's guilty. Sorry, this is what it is. All right. The man had sex with Aaliyah when she was 15. Had a fake marriage license. Okay. This man is guilty, and I'm sorry to say that some of you are responsible for him being free because you will still support this man. You will still support him. He's going down. He is going down. Even grooming a boy called Nephew. The man was a molester. I don't care what his mother did to him. His sister. I don't care. That doesn't justify a damn thing. It doesn't. But unfortunately, in the black community, if you could sing, if you could dance, if you could play an instrument real good, you're untouchable. Just like James Brown, just like James Cleveland, just like Bishop Eddie Long, and many others. Sad to say, you will still defend this man who had an underage girl as his wife. Okay? Bribed the marriage county clerk to get a fake marriage certificate. But this is the end of R.Kelly. But unfortunately, there'll be more R.Kelly soon to come. And unfortunately, many in the black community will support that man. And the few blacks that will say this man is sick, he needs to go to jail, the majority of the black community will ostracize him. It's just the facts. It's just the facts. But to show that his defense lawyer wants to compare him to Martin Luther King Jr. Wow. Wow. You're going to compare a sexual predator to a civil rights leader. Wow. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Can't make this stuff up, man. Can't make this stuff up. But tell me what you think in the comments. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Later.